The world of modern celebrity and reality television often presents a carefully curated facade of perfection, where glamorous vacations, flawless outfits, and perfectly timed milestones dominate our feeds. We watch these personalities navigate relationships, career shifts, and personal growth under the constant glare of cameras, feeling a sense of familiarity with their lives. Yet, behind the polished lenses and strategic social media updates lies the unpredictable, deeply fragile reality of human existence, which spares no one, regardless of fame or status. Every so often, a story emerges from this glittering sphere that completely shatters the illusion of effortless perfection, replacing it with a raw, gripping narrative of survival, vulnerability, and pure, unadulterated human emotion. It reminds us that behind the public personas are real people facing the exact same sudden, terrifying turns of fate that any ordinary family might encounter in the middle of an ordinary night. When a public figure chooses to lift the veil entirely, peeling back the layers of public relations to reveal a deeply personal crisis, it commands our attention in a profound way. These are the moments that resonate far beyond the confines of reality television fandom, tapping into universal themes of hope, terror, and the fierce instinctual love of parenthood. The journey into parenthood is traditionally romanticized as a predictable countdown, a meticulous preparation of nurseries and carefully packed hospital bags, bound by a strict and reassuring timeline that parents count down week by week. We expect nature to follow its course with rhythmic precision, allowing families to mentally and physically prepare for the monumental shift that a new life brings. But life, in its most profound and chaotic moments, rarely adheres to human schedules, often upending the most thoroughly laid plans in the blink of an eye. For those who live their lives in the spotlight, a sudden deviation from this path becomes a highly public test of resilience, transforming a private medical emergency into a story of collective hope and anxiety for thousands of onlookers worldwide. As viewers, we become silent witnesses to a high-stakes reality that no scriptwriter could ever conceive, watching anxiously from the sidelines as a family fights through their darkest hours toward a glimmer of light. Before we dive deeper into the extraordinary and unfolding details of this emotional journey, take a moment to subscribe to our channel to ensure you never miss an update on this and other breaking news stories. The atmosphere surrounding this particular story began not with a grand announcement, but with an unexpected, sudden silence that left followers wondering what had transpired behind closed doors. For months, the public had tracked a journey that seemed to be progressing with the usual joyful anticipation, filled with updates, shared smiles, and the palpable excitement of a couple preparing to welcome their very first child into the world. The couple had only recently shared their happy news with the world, inviting their extensive network of friends, family, and dedicated fans into a beautiful new chapter of their relationship. Every photograph and video snippet spoke of a future filled with warmth, laughter, and the steady, comforting rhythm of an expanding family. There was absolutely no indication that a storm was brewing on the horizon, no hint that their carefully constructed world was about to be thrown into absolute chaos. The transition from joyful anticipation to sheer breathless panic can happen in a single heartbeat, leaving no time for processing, no time for rationalization, and no time to say goodbye to the life you knew just moments prior. It is in these quiet, terrifying intervals between the realization of danger and the arrival of medical intervention that the true strength of the human spirit is forged. The setting for this narrative shifted dramatically from the familiar sunny backdrops of high-profile social gatherings and relaxed domestic life to the sterile, hyper-vigilant environment of a major medical facility. The comforting routine of daily life vanished, replaced by the rhythmic, piercing hum of medical monitors, the hushed, urgent tones of specialized physicians, and the overwhelming weight of the unknown. For any expectant parents, entering this specialized world prematurely is an experience fraught with intense psychological trauma. A surreal landscape where every second carries monumental significance and every beep of a machine can signal a shift in a fragile destiny. It is a world where time stretches out endlessly, transforming hours into lifetimes as a mother and father wait for answers that are often slow to come. The contrast between the vibrant, energetic public persona the world had come to know and the quiet, fierce battle taking place within the hospital walls could not have been more stark or more deeply moving. Friends and colleagues within the close-knit entertainment community could only watch and wait, sending private messages of support into the void, hoping for a positive outcome but fully understanding the gravity of a situation that had clearly escalated far beyond the norm. The digital space, which is so often filled with trivial debates and fleeting trends, suddenly transformed into a collective vigil, a space of quiet solidarity as rumors began to circulate that something incredibly significant had occurred. This initial phase of the experience is characterized by a unique kind of isolation, where despite being surrounded by the cutting edge of medical technology and highly trained professionals, a couple feels entirely alone in their fear. They are forced to confront the absolute limits of their control over their own lives and the life of their unborn child, a humbling and terrifying realization that changes a person forever. As the days ticked by without official word, the sense of intrigue and concern only deepened among the public, creating a tense atmosphere of anticipation that set the stage for a revelation that would touch the hearts of millions. The story we are unfolding today is not just about a medical event or a celebrity milestone. It is an intimate exploration of human endurance, the unpredictable nature of childbirth, and the profound bonds that are tested and strengthened in the crucible of an unexpected crisis. It is a narrative that challenges our perceptions of strength and vulnerability, proving that true heroism is often found not in grand, public gestures, but in the quiet, terrified holding of hands in a delivery room while the world outside continues to spin on its axis, completely oblivious to the miracle and the struggle occurring within. The sudden and dramatic shift from a peaceful pregnancy journey to a high-stakes medical emergency became a reality for Danielle Olivera and her partner, Aidan Heavey, in a way they could have never anticipated. The former Summer House star, at 37 years old, found herself thrust into a frightening medical whirlwind on June 21, 2026, a date that marked the longest day of the year, both by the celestial summer solstice and by the grueling emotional trial the new parents were forced to endure. What was supposed to be a routine 28-week checkup quickly dissolved into a chaotic race against time when doctors realized that their baby boy could no longer wait to enter the world. Just moments before this life-altering realization, Danielle had been enjoying a simple, ordinary meal of 2 pizzas, jokingly remarking later on social media that she had absolutely no idea this would be her very last meal before suddenly giving birth. The stark contrast between that ordinary, casual moment of eating pizza and the immediate, terrifying reality of being rushed into an early delivery room encapsulates the fragile, unpredictable nature of premature childbirth. Her little boy, whom the couple later named Aidan Santos Heavey, made his dramatic entrance into the world a staggering 10 weeks ahead of his projected due date, forcing the couple to rapidly abandon all their carefully laid plans and adapt to a completely new, high-stress reality. This sudden arrival completely shattered the traditional timeline of a third trimester pregnancy, leaving the new mother and father in a state of profound shock and intense emotional vulnerability as they watched their tiny newborn immediately transferred to the intensive care unit. The sheer velocity of the events left Danielle and Eoin completely overwhelmed, scrambling to process the fact that they were now parents to a critically fragile infant who required around-the-clock medical monitoring just to survive. In the immediate aftermath of the birth, the couple chose to keep their harrowing experience private, spending days in a quiet, isolated bubble within the hospital walls, completely focused on the health of their newborn son and the recovery of Danielle after such a sudden traumatic labor. When they finally broke their silence to share the news with their extensive following, the revelation sent shockwaves through the reality television community and beyond, as fans scrambled to comprehend the gravity of what the young family had just experienced. The joint statement they released on Father's Day was deeply moving, filled with a poignant mix of raw terror, profound relief, and an undercurrent of humor that highlighted their incredible resilience in the face of an absolute nightmare. Eoin Heavey, by his own admission, was described in the announcement as a nervous, terrified, sobbing mess during the delivery, a candid admission that painted a vivid, heartbreakingly honest picture of a father watching his partner and unborn child face an immediate medical crisis. Despite the overwhelming fear that gripped him in those intense hours, he remained an unwavering source of support for Danielle, holding her hand tightly through the chaotic delivery process while the medical team worked frantically around them to ensure a safe delivery. The couple beautifully noted the profound irony of the timing, stating that while it was the longest day of the year for the world, it was undeniably the longest and most emotionally exhausting day for them as parents. They revealed that baby Aidan would be heading to what they affectionately termed summer camp at the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit for the first 2 to 3 months of his life on this earth, a lighthearted spin on a deeply serious situation that showed their determination to remain positive for their son. The choice of the name Aidan was also revealed to have a profound and deeply personal significance, translating directly to Fiery One or Bringer of Fire, a moniker the parents felt was incredibly fitting for a little boy who made such a roaring, dramatic, and unforgettable entrance into the world. The initial photo that Danielle eventually shared with her eager and anxious followers was a beautiful, bittersweet black and white image that captured the absolute essence of their current reality. The photograph depicted Danielle and Eoin standing inside the sterile environment of the NICU, their faces illuminated by a mixture of exhaustion and pure, unadulterated adoration as they gazed down into an incubator at their tiny, fragile son. Written across the emotional image were the words worth every second, "Ready for our biggest adventure yet," a powerful testament to the mother's immediate, unconditional love and her readiness to face whatever challenges lay ahead on this unconventional parenting journey. The image provided a rare, unfiltered glimpse into the reality of a NICU parent, an environment defined by plastic walls, complex wiring, life-saving monitors, and an overarching atmosphere of cautious optimism. For weeks leading up to this sudden delivery, the couple had been basking in the joyful excitement of their pregnancy announcement, which they had shared with the public only a short month prior in May. That initial announcement had been filled with radiant, sunlit photos of Eoin tenderly cradling Danielle's bare, growing baby bump, a visual representation of a future full of promise and standard milestones that has now been completely upended. The suddenness of Aidan's arrival completely bypassed the traditional milestones of the third trimester, skipping the baby showers, the nursery decorating, and the slow, mental preparation that helps expectant parents transition into their new roles. Instead, they were thrown directly into the deep end of medical jargon, specialized infant care, and the daily emotional roller coaster that defines the experience of having a premature infant in critical care. The tension within the hospital room during those first few days was palpable, as every single milestone, no matter how small, was fiercely celebrated by the new parents and their dedicated medical team. From the first time they were permitted to touch their son, through the small circles of the incubator, to the first successful medical updates regarding his lung development. Danielle and Eoin found themselves celebrating victories that most parents of full-term babies take entirely for granted. The experience has undeniably forged an unbreakable bond between the couple, who only began dating the previous year but have a deep, foundational history as friends that dates back a very long time, a detail they had recently opened up about on the Summer House spinoff, In the City. This long-standing friendship clearly provided the solid, immovable foundation they desperately needed to weather this sudden, terrifying storm together as a united front. As Danielle expressed in her social media updates, she is still actively processing the events of the past week and a half, acknowledging the wild, unpredictable journey it took to bring Aidan into the world while expressing immense gratitude for having the best partner in the world by her side. The narrative of Aidan's birth is a stark reminder of how quickly life can alter its course, transforming a standard, joyous pregnancy into a fierce, minute-by-minute battle for health and stability, leaving an entire community of supporters waiting with bated breath to see how this brave little family navigates the long, challenging weeks of recovery and growth that still lie ahead in the confines of the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. The journey of Danielle Olivera and Aidan Heavey within the walls of the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit represents a profound chapter of human endurance, one that sheds light on the quiet realities faced by thousands of families every single day. While the world of television production and public appearances often demands an exhausting level of performance, the specialized environment of the NICU demands an entirely different kind of strength, characterized by absolute patience, emotional vulnerability, and an unwavering belief in the resilience of a tiny human life. For Danielle, transitioning from the high-energy, fast-paced world of reality television to the hyper-focused, delicate rhythm of an infant incubator has been a transformative experience that redefines what it means to be in the public eye. Her willingness to share this deeply personal, incredibly fragile chapter of her life has resonated far beyond her established fanbase, opening up an important global conversation about the realities of premature birth, the psychological toll of unexpected medical crises on new parents, and the extraordinary medical advancements that make survival possible for babies born so far ahead of their time. The story of baby Aidan Santos Heavey is not merely a fleeting piece of entertainment news, it is a powerful testament to the miraculous capabilities of modern neonatology and the profound, instinctual bond of love that instantly forms between parents and their newborn child, regardless of the circumstances surrounding their arrival into the world. As the days slowly bleed into weeks within the sterile hospital corridors, the initial shock of the sudden delivery has gradually given way to a structured, deeply deliberate daily routine focused entirely on Aidan's growth and development. Every single ounce of weight gained, every stable breath taken without the assistance of machinery, and every single positive report from the attending medical team is celebrated as a monumental victory by Danielle and Eoin. This intensive, minute-by-minute care highlights the incredible dedication of the specialized nurses and physicians who populate the NICU, individuals who work tirelessly behind the scenes to shepherd these fragile infants through the very earliest stages of their earthly existence. For Eoin, whose emotional vulnerability during the delivery endeared him to millions of onlookers, the journey into fatherhood has been an absolute baptism by fire, forcing him to step into a role of profound protective responsibility under the most stressful conditions imaginable. The deep history of friendship that exists between Danielle and Eoin has proven to be their greatest asset during this trial, providing a sturdy, time-tested emotional foundation that allows them to support one another seamlessly without words, sharing the immense weight of the anxiety while maintaining a unified, fiercely optimistic front for their son. This profound connection, which was built over years of mutual respect and camaraderie long before they ever chose to pursue a romantic relationship, has been completely solidified in the crucible of this shared crisis, transforming them from partners into an unbreakable parental unit. The broader community of television personalities, friends, and colleagues has rallied around the couple with an overwhelming outpouring of love, offering a continuous stream of emotional support that serves as a comfort during the long, lonely hours of the night shift at the hospital. This collective embrace serves as a poignant reminder that even in an industry often criticized for its superficiality, genuine human connection and deep empathy frequently emerge during times of genuine hardship. As Aidan continues his extended stay at his symbolic summer camp, the world continues to watch and wait with bated breath, sending continuous waves of positive energy, prayers, and well wishes to the young family as they navigate the remaining weeks of their intensive care journey. The name Aidan, the fiery bringer of fire, continues to serve as an inspiring beacon of hope for the couple, symbolizing the fierce, unyielding spark of life that burns brightly within their tiny son, defying the odds and fighting toward a bright, healthy future outside the hospital walls. Danielle's transparent documentation of this wild journey has effectively demystified an experience that is often shrouded in silence and isolation, offering a sense of profound comfort and solidarity to countless other mothers who have faced the terrifying reality of a premature delivery. By showcasing both the immense terror of the delivery room and the pure, unadulterated joy of holding her partner's hand beside their son's incubator, she has painted an extraordinarily authentic portrait of modern motherhood, one defined not by perfection but by an absolute fearless devotion to family. The ultimate goal for the new parents remains clear and unwavering: the beautiful, eagerly anticipated day when they can finally disconnect the monitors, pack up their belongings, and bring baby Aidan home to begin their true, uninterrupted life together as a family of three. Until that long-awaited moment arrives, they remain steadfast in their daily vigil, anchored by their deep love for one another, comforted by the expert care of their medical team, and profoundly grateful for the miraculous presence of the little boy who simply could not wait to meet them. The story of this sudden arrival will undoubtedly continue to inspire and captivate audiences for a very